Oh my, a package. Hello everyone, Isaac24 here, and I have a package from eBay. I don't order a lot of stuff, so if I ordered something, it's probably pretty important. This is actually something for my truck, and you're going to see what it is when I open it here. Came all the way from Milton, Florida, which apparently things in Florida move pretty slowly because it spent a long time there after it got shipped, waiting to be shipped up here. So, I covered the addresses obviously, but let's open it. And yeah, there's a Subway advertisement in the background that came in the mail. Let's see what this package could contain, and let's hope that it wasn't the wrong thing. Let's also hope that it got shipped decently and not, you know, it didn't get all messed up in shipping, because that sometimes happens. I've had that before. Okay. Let me raise this up a little bit. That's about the best view you're going to get. It's not wrapped that well. Oh, that's great. They did not wrap this well at all. No. That's right. It's upside down. This is a head unit. Specifically for a Ford vehicle. And why would I order a Ford head unit for an 07 F-150 with these little mounting holes? Well, let's go find out. To replace this, of course. This is the radio that my truck came with. It's a Pioneer DEH X48000BT. And I don't like aftermarket radios. I've never liked them. I find them hard to use and they don't look good, especially when you have a doubled-in radio slot that's filled in like this with a singled-in. The radio does work. Go ahead and I'll demonstrate here. It's probably going to go to aux. You'll notice one thing I absolutely cannot stand about this radio is that that is the brightest setting. This is my aux jack. So we'll put it on FM here. Bluetooth, radio. Oops, I skipped over it. There we go. It should come on. Good song. So once you're here, it's fine. And of course, the presets all work. Whatever. That's a good song, too. I got good radio stations. They all work. It's all good. So, let me tell you a couple... I'm just going to go over a few, you'll notice the time is wrong too, a couple of my few complaints. Now, I will say at least it has a CD player. Number one is that this brightness is too dim. Number two, these lights at night do not dim with the headlights and are extremely bright, and if you turn them down, you can't see them during the day. Number three, whoever designed the preset station in this truck, I don't even know what to say. Basically, if you want to set a preset, you turn it on, then you use the little track buttons to go to the station that you want to preset. The problem is that these buttons, I'll show you, don't go station by station. They browse and seek until they find an available station. So, it's going to turn on to 92.9, obviously. Let's say I wanted to go to... whatever, 93 something, whatever. I'm gonna have to zoom way in so you can see this, yeah. So let me just hit this track. Oh, wrong way. There's 92.1. Oh yeah, that's another fun feature. It then goes through your presets, and I don't know how to get it to not. It is the most infuriating system ever. You can't seek the tracks. I was going to try to show you, but it's not even letting me. It's just going through my presets. The same presets I could literally hit by doing this. It is so infuriating that it's set up like this. I didn't even bother setting the Bluetooth up because, frankly, I don't want to. I thought I was going to make this radio work, but I said I can't do this. I can't live with this thing. On the plus side, it has a CD player, it has an aux jack, whatever. So... I decided I'm not going to live with it. And that is where this guy comes in. Let me put you on the tripod. All right, that's a pretty good view. All right, everyone. For the last time, let's say goodbye to this piece of crap. Goodbye, radio. I hated you always. Now turn off. Now I'm going to take the key out, and because this is a Ford, the radio stays on. Open the door to cancel it. Removing this radio out of this truck is actually very simple. They made it pretty easy. All you have to do essentially is take this panel and start pulling it back just like that. There are some wiring harnesses in here. I found that really the only one necessary to disconnect, because it kind of hangs in the way otherwise, is the one for the passenger airbag sensor, which you just push in on and it comes off. You could remove the other ones, but I'm just going to let it dangle. And now you will notice the wonderful 2-screw system holding this piece of crap in. I'm going to take all of these crap. I am going to lose the shelf, but I don't really care. I just have pens and crap in there anyway. So now we're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. Now, I know some people are probably saying, oh, well, yeah, disconnect the negative battery, whatever, terminal. Oh, watch out. Okay, there we go. My answer to that is simply no. I've done enough radio work with the battery connected. I'm not going to have an issue. We're going to go ahead and unscrew these 2 little pieces of crap right here, these Phillips head screws. Why people put these cancerous radios in their cars, I don't know. And out it comes. I will take that screw. Maybe. Come here. There we go. I'm going to put it there because we may be reusing some of these. So here's the radio itself, and here is the back. So here is the factory Ford wiring harness. This is a wiring harness that goes into the new radio that they just didn't use on this. And then, of course, you have the antenna. So this comes out like that, and the antenna. Oh, fuck. Okay, hopefully I didn't just... Oh, I got it off once before because I was taking the radio off to see how easy this job would be. There we go. And I didn't damage the connector. So that radio is now probably useless because I stripped that all out. Old radio, get out of here. And now we have the antenna, the new wiring, the original wiring harnesses, of course. So I'm going to unpeel these. So let us connect these up. As you can see on the back, it's pretty simple. You have the antenna spot, which goes in like that. You have the wiring harness that they never used, which simply goes in like that, and you have the big main wiring harness like that. Okay. And then this, I heard something. It's going to take some finagling to get this piece of crap in here. Really quickly, too, we'll test it out here and just see what happens. Cross our fingers.
Said I was focused on the edges yesterday.
Radio! That is what I'm talking about. And perfect. It dims with the headlights, or rather it should. One thing I am curious about while we're here, because I haven't been able to test it. Here's my aux jack. Let's test the factory aux input and see if it works. On, aux, line in, and... oh yeah, baby. Even the aux works. It's a good song too. Sweet. So we'll go back to FM.
Oh, you're right.
Turn that off. Yep, it stays on. Then when I open the door, off it goes. And I have a lot of crap in my door pocket, which is what you're hearing rattling around. Sweet. Take that out. So, now comes the fun part of we have to mount this thing back in here. So this actually fits in how it's supposed to, and by that, it's a lot tighter. Because obviously this is the correct radio that's supposed to be here. So let me just let me see if these screws that they had actually work. I assume these Phillips head screws came with the Pioneer, but whatever. you're going to see my ugly ass head for a second. See, the Pioneer never even fit in here correctly because it wasn't the original radio. It shook around, the dashboard never went around it. This fits in perfectly because it's the original radio. How many screws did they include? Oh, sweet. Did they include 4? Oh, this is... Oh, there's 3. Whoops. Oh, well. I'm sure some people are going to find this interesting. Some. Trademark. For the record, I did take out the radio a couple times in my Explorer to try to get the screen to work, so I got familiar with Ford radio installations via that, which that is a lot more complicated because it's a... Oh, the tape is on me. That car has a center console, which all has to come apart, and there's a bunch more wiring harnesses, and it's kind of just a general pain in the ass more. This is actually a lot easier because there's no center console, and there's a lot less... I mean, if this was like a Lariat truck, then it would be harder because this thing has a lot less tech. I don't want it rattling around. Sweet. And you know what? Actually, just because I have another one of these, I'm actually going to remove one of the stupid Phillips head screws. Just because I don't, frankly, want one. If we have 3 of the original screws, we should use 3 of the original screws. Now, the other problem is when your goddamn... Oh, I found them. I was going to say when your damn needle nose pliers go missing, but I found my needle nose pliers. Got it. Because I'd rather, if I have 3 of the correct screws that are supposed to be in there... God, I sit so far up that I can't fit anything under my legs. Let's use the 3rd and final original screw. I don't want to strip it. No, I already kind of did. Sweet. They also included 2 more of the little brackets, which can be helpful. I'm going to save these. I'm going to put these right here for now. So here's where the fun is going to come in, or not so much fun, depending on how you put it, is going to be hoping and praying that the... I gotta look to see what I'm doing with the airbag sensor. Here we go, let's pray. Going from the bottom. Perfect. It's in, or at least it's in good enough for me. Yeah, you're gonna have to... It's because the clip on this side is broken. Look at that shit! Let me zoom out here, you can see what that looks like. Oh yeah. And now, you know, I'll go to start my truck, whatever. Oh, let's listen to the radio. The truck goes. Hey! What are the presets? Oh, that. What a song. I am going to have to set the presets, so... Yeah, so I'm going to have to put my pens and stuff. They're all just going to have to go up here, because I have no other room for them. But look at that, people! That right there is an Isaac 24 upgrade, because, as everyone knows, I'm an old boomer who does not like new technology. And frankly, I think that Pioneer radio was a giant hunk of junk. So, we call that a success. Let me put all my tools back here. Save the little screws that came with it. Perfect. I just had to write something down there for my notes. So, now, the only thing... Oh, I can't open that. Let's set my presets really quick. I've had the same presets for almost everything. I like to put them in order, too, because it's easier. First one's going to be 92.1, which is hip-hop. Done. 2 is going to be 92... Oh, well, I guess I could just do that. 2 is going to be 92.9, which is classic rock. Set. 3 is going to be 94.9, which is also classic rock. Classic rock. 94.9. MMQ. Oh, I don't like that song, actually. Number 4 is going to be 99.1, which is everything from pop to old stuff. I actually don't like 99.1 that much. And then 5 is going to be 101.7, which is variety. It's actually a good station. And 6 is going to be 1061, which is heavy metal, and Bob and Tom show in the morning. Rest in peace, Ron Sexton. He just died. It is a tragedy. So those are set. Let's try. Oh yeah, you know what? It is on. It's just so bright out that you can't see it when the headlights come on. Sweet. And then of course if it's on, you know, whatever, go to turn it off, take the key out, and then open the door. That is how you do an upgrade. We will test the CDs. I don't have any CDs out here to test, but at this point, I mean, plug that in. I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, that has been the radio upgrade / downgrade for my truck. I have one more thing to show you before we call it a day. Obviously, we just did the radio, but I have one more thing to show you. Let's back up from my truck here. Go back, and look at, oh, what is that? Let's take a look. Ever since I bought this truck, I have wanted a toolbox because I have a lot of crap, and you know, originally I wanted a crew cab truck with a 5.5 foot bed because I didn't care as much about the bed size. I just wanted the crew cab. Well, I've actually found that this 6.5 foot bed with the extended cab is perfect because you get a full back seat, like a comfortable full back seat, and you get a 6.5 foot bed, which means it's perfect for putting a toolbox on because you still got all this room. If this was a 5.5 foot bed, you would have like this much room. So I'm actually happy I got this. Now, toolboxes for trucks are not cheap. Let's take a trip up here. Damn it, this hurts. This is a DZ brand, Facebook Marketplace. It's not in great condition. I bought it for very cheap considering how expensive some toolboxes are. You can see under there I've been hauling stuff, so this is all dirty. This may have been my doing, actually. But I found this box, Facebook Marketplace. It was very cheap. I'm sure at one point it did lock, but I guess he lost the key or something because he built this hasp onto there. I didn't do that. I put this lock on. Pretty sure I did that. It's red, which the guy who had it before me said it came off of a red GMC. So he purchased a newer Ram, I guess, with a tonneau cover, and he didn't need this. But put a lock on there, and I'll just show you here. For how cheap this was, I'm not going to complain because I was expecting some crappy, dented up, junky, you know, box that... And the thing is, too, this thing's even watertight. The seals are still good on it. I'll show you here. I don't know if I can do this one-handed because you kind of have to unlatch that and this at the same time. Oh, I got it. It's old. Look how big it is, and yeah, there's not much in here that's of value, so whatever. But it's big, it's got room, it's carpeted. Did not come with the hardware. I had to build the hardware on, which is parts I found at various hardware stores. But it's carpeted, it's huge, it's watertight. Even as crappy as it looks, the seals still work. Latches, obviously. I love this thing. And I'm okay with taking up bed space. I'm okay with it not matching even. I did have to do, again, all my own drillings. It doesn't move. It doesn't shake. It's watertight. I mean, this thing's awesome for how cheap it was. Locks. You can see it is hitting right there just a little bit. It is very, very heavy. It probably weighs 50 pounds empty. And it probably weighs like 100 now with all my stuff in there. But I love this thing. Yeah, Facebook. This thing was much cheaper than all the other toolboxes, and I was thinking this is going to be some derelict piece of crap. I had to drive a little to go get it. The only things wrong with it, really, it's even watertight, like I said, is that the chains like to get stuck sometimes. But the only things wrong with it, when I got it, was that it's missing the key, which he went ahead and fixed that problem. And that when I bought it, it had been sitting outside for a while, so it had bugs all in it. So I had to spray the shit out of it when I got it home. That carpet is not removable. It's stuck to the bottom. So I got all the bugs out. It still smells like bug spray. I've had it for like 2 or 3 weeks at this point. And it's awesome just to be able to store all my crap and not have to worry about it. Because even if I had a crew cab, you know, where else am I going to put all my junk still? You do have to mess with this a little bit to get it to... All right, I got it. You have to rustle with a little bit, but then just take our padlock. We'll easier with two hands. There we go. Get it down in there. This padlock's also a little messed up. And there you have it. And now, of course, you can't, you know, open it because the lock prevents. Make sure it's down so it's watertight. And yeah, toolbox. How cool. One thing I will say, in my original video on this truck, I had mentioned that I couldn't get the tailgate to lock because it does have a lock here. Well, what I discovered is that it's supposed to lock with the key. You put it in, now if you listen, it sounds like nothing's connected. Some of the higher trim level trucks, when you lock the truck, they're supposed to lock. It's some of the Lariat trucks unlock and lock with that, but like an XLT truck like this from the factory, lock it like that, unlock it like that, and obviously no matter what you do, it's unlocked, which I guess is a better alternative to it being locked. But I ended up looking at some videos, and what I did is I took the bed liner off here, and I took the metal piece, all of it off to the part to where I could get to the back of this handle. And I looked inside there, and I have a video of it I might include in the video actually. We found that basically you put the key in, attached to the cylinder is a little circular nut looking thing that rotates, and as it rotates it turns these levers that are attached to the massive arms that go to the sides of the locks. That little nut thing is completely stripped and broken, so when you do this, that's why it doesn't feel like you're turning anything, and there's obviously nothing in there. So ideally I could go to a junkyard and get a new handle, but I don't really feel like taking it out because it's kind of difficult. But also the only reason I wanted a locking tailgate was because I had thought for a minute about getting a tonneau cover, which I really don't like tonneau covers. They totally take away the purpose of having a truck bed. But I couldn't find a toolbox, and I was thinking, well, there's no purpose to having a tonneau cover if a thief can just open the bed like this. Even if the tonneau cover locks, I mean, most tonneau covers, you can still open the tailgate, so it's useless. But now that I have the locking toolbox, it doesn't really matter. So that's just a bonus I wanted to throw in about the nice, awesome DZ brand toolbox. And of course, the new and improved head unit, at least by my standards. Isaac24.com.